I don't know why I'm laughing.
Good evening. Happy Thirsty Thursday, ladies.
Hey, Thirsty Thursday.
Cheers.
Cheers and welcome to the show, Jay. We're so excited to have you. It's a girls' night.
Thank you for having me on Girls Night. I'm pretty excited.
We're going to get started with a would you rather question from good old Donna.
Ooh,
Okay.
ladies, this is a good one. Okay. Y'all got to be honest.
Whew.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. All right. Would you rather be in a relationship where your partner is faithful, but he's broke? Okay. He doesn't have any money. He's not working. Or would you rather that he's faithful and wants to have sex like multiple times a day with you? He's addicted to sex, but he's only having sex with you.
But he's still broke?
No.
No, he's got money.
He's got money. He's faithful, but he wants to have sex several times a day.
Okay. So, do I go first? Is that me? All right. So I'm going to speak on both topics.
Let's go.
So, I will take a faithful man any day, broke or not, because if he's broke, we can get money together.
Okay.
Because if you have a man, you're supposed to uplift him and try to support him just like he's supposed to do you.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, if he's faithful and he wants it every day, well, honey, let's go. Like, don't deny your man that access.
Jay.
Let's go.
Say that again for the ladies in the back who are not providing
Let's
for their man.
go. Look, I may be a little bit in my late 30s, but it's all right. I'm ready to roll.
Oh, literally. She gonna rock and roll and roll.
All night long.
That is funny. Peaches, what you saying to this?
Is it an either or? We got to choose one.
You gotta choose one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would have to say broke because, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
I'm gonna take a sip and listen to this. What?
I got shit to do. I can't keep my legs up all day. I'm sorry. I got stuff to do.
No, when
That's
you
great.
put your legs up, you might
And
be.
we need to be making money anyway, so we got better things to be worried about than.
But here's the thing. So for me, I can go multiple times a week, multiple times a day, right? Because here's the thing. You can improvise with things. You don't. It doesn't always have to be. It could be oral. You give them head, and it could be good. You know, you have to give your coochie a little rest. You have to give that booty hole a little rest. You know, I get it.
Oh, no, I don't think
Your legs don't always have to be in the air.
Ash.
Max,
I don't think you understand what an addiction is, Ash.
They do it all the time.
Cause your mouth and your vagina gonna be dry in a minute.
Yeah, but if you have a man who's got that addiction and you're not fulfilling it, do you want him to go get that fulfilled somewhere else? Yes, he may be faithful, but if you're not fulfilling that urge, you know, eventually it could lead to them stepping out because you're not fulfilling it.
No, I get that. Like the faithful man, of course, you know, we gonna do the do now. I'm just saying an addiction is extreme. That's a little extreme.
It is, but I mean, okay, random and totally unrelated, but related. Have you ever tried to do oral with cotton mouth? I think that's
the worst. That is the worst. It's like, hold on, let me choke on it.
Yeah. So I think that's Peach's point. Like your mouth go get tied, your cooch go get tied, but that's what the jellies are for, right?
They make pocket toys,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So
you can improvise, right?
Definitely, absolutely.
To spice it up. So here's the thing: when you're dealing with a broke person who doesn't have any money coming in, so that money. So we are financially responsible for all the bills. That gets tiring because depending on what your job is, you are mentally, physically, and emotionally drained.
I would say this: I make enough money to sustain us, and you got the house. I'm actually okay with that.
I don't know. This is actually tough, okay? Because, and I keep throwing like different scenarios into the question, but we should take it at face value. But like with his sex addiction, what if he's like, he only wants to come in your cooch? You know what I'm saying? Like all the other stuff you can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like men with sex addictions, do they just take it like it's just a good nut, or do they just want a nut? You know?
I think they just want a nut.
Mm.
I think they just need to get that out the way. Release
Right.
tension.
And if you're tired, you get one of those $150, $200, half body models for them to,
She
go
said
at it like a
that.
jackass.
And she say no. As long as he doing this, expressing this addiction with me, we good. And Peaches is on the like, no, I
Nah,
can't.
What about you, Donna?
I don't know. I'm on the fence. So like that's what I say. I keep adding these different scenarios in. Like I feel like I would be okay with a sex addiction if I liked his sex. But like, what if like he was like this and I'm suffering through the sex? Like,
yeah.
you know?
I
Not
think
only
Shoot
that,
the club up. Shoot the club.
Oh my God.
not only that, but what if you aren't? So I'm gonna tell you, and this is what I know. This is, like you said, related but unrelated.
Mhm.
I think that for me, I don't know about you ladies, but my sex drive depends on the man and the connection that we have too.
Yes.
So I may have a low sex drive for this addict, but a high sex drive for the faithful one.
But both of them are faithful.
Yeah, both of them are
One's just broke,
Oh,
one's a
okay.
psycho.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
But that still brings my point that I may have a low sex drive with him, but a high sex drive with the other one. So it just kind of depends on the man at that point. But
Right.
I can't have my legs up that much.
I believe it depends. With me, it depends on my mental. If I'm fulfilled in every way with you, I feel secure in every aspect. Honey, the moment I walk in that door, I'm gonna look at you and be like, come here real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if we have that connection, like, it's gotta give that fulfillment back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is interesting, which leads us to one of Peach's questions, which is how often do you think you should be having sex in your relationship? Wait, Peaches, period, or like in the relationship?
Like in a week, in a month.
I mean, again, it depends. So I'm gonna tell you like this. I feel like for me and whomever my significant other might be, if you want it, come get it. That's how I feel about it.
But some guys like the women to initiate.
I mean, and sometimes I might. It depends on how I feel at the time. I mean, that may be busy doing something, but see, this is the other part to that. Like I was explaining to someone, in the dynamics of a marriage or a relationship, especially when you have kids. If that woman is always on go mode, she's stressed out, she's working, she's doing XYZ, right? Half the time her brain isn't on sex. I mean, let's just be real. Because her mind is always going and having to take care of the kids and having to take care of this and having to take care of that. So if there's a man that can relieve some of that pressure off of her each day, she will actually be more likely to have sex. I mean, that's just my opinion. But that's also me too. Like if I'm less worried about the day-to-day stuff, oh, you might have to drop them draws, player.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
that's sexy when he helps out with the.
Listen, cooking, rubbing on my back and stuff. Huh?
So what kind of pressure are we relieving? That back pressure.
That back pressure.
That back pressure.
All of it. So, Peaches, you would have an answer though. How often do you think you should have sex?
I mean, I would say minimum at least 3 to 4 times a week.
I think that's a compromise. 3 to 4 times a week. That's a minimum.
Minimum.
Yes, I like it. What about you, Jay?
Okay. So I'm just going to say this because full disclosure, I'm a Scorpio. Okay. So
You freak.
yes,
Let's get it on.
like if I'm cooking dinner and you want it, just come bend me over in the kitchen real quick. The middle of the night, you roll over and, just do what you got to do. So I'm with it every day. Like, if you want to come home for lunch and we can meet real quick, let's do it. Like, that's how I am. When I have that person that I'm with, like I said, everything is fulfilled and secured. Get it when you want it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going a week without having sex. Like,
I'm
that's
not going a day or two without it if I'm in a relationship.
yeah.
This single life right now,
Unless he's not into running red lights. If he's not into running red lights, I won't force him to do that. However,
that's why they make showers peaches.
that's what I'm saying. Look, listen, no. I'm all for the shits, okay? I actually don't mind him running red lights, but you know, some men don't do it. So
Some men out, you are correct. Yeah.
Sure.
So I do want to say something about what Peaches said though. So back when I was married and my son was younger, yes, it's like when I was on go mode 24/7, you know, I never really, that wasn't the focus. But now that I'm single, my son is grown, like, I can't wait till I have a man who's like, baby, come give me that right now, every day. Like, let's do this. So, you know, just to answer those questions.
Absolutely.
So really quick, I want to just shout out to our listeners, our viewers. We have people watching. So shout out to DeAndre, Corey, obviously we got Jay, and then MJ's in the building as well.
Hey.
So welcome. And of course he had to make sure he brought that up. So what kind of pressure are we
we're gonna answer that question.
But we already said, you know, us women who work hard, let me answer Donna's question really quick and I'll go back to that. Donna's question, I would say 3 to 4 times a week. It's a good stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
It really is.
It's like when you are stressed out, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And
like give me a massage.
Proven to get rid of cramps too, so it makes your cycle a little bit better. I'm just saying.
It does.
I mean, it helps take away headaches too.
Yeah. Hey, legit question. Do y'all get an attitude when you're horny?
No.
Yeah.
I go get what I want.
No, I get like, I am like grumpy. Like, I get mad. Like, yeah, it's bad.
Someone said 3 or 4 times a week is legit. I think it's fair. You have to let your body recover, right?
Right.
So if you do it Sunday, you got Monday to relax, or if anything, if you want to do it again, go ahead. But you know,
what are we recovering from this pleasure? I mean, 3 to 4 is a minimum.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I said 3 to 4 times is a minimum. But right. I was just saying too, if he want it, he can come get it.
I agree.
Passing the red light is what you're saying.
Hey, to relieve pressure, we're talking about like day-to-day stuff. So if you know I'm a working mom, you know I'm constantly cleaning up the house and cooking and cleaning and all. The biggest thing that will relieve a lot of pressure for us, or stress rather, would be take on something, you know, throughout the day. That way we're not so consumed with everyday life that by the time we get ready for bed or by the time we see you, you know, we'll have the energy to do what we need to do.
You know, and I get that perspective, and I'm interested to hear what Jay thinks about this as she's a Scorpio. But like, kind of when you say, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here to use Ashley Davis's phrase. When you say it like that, it makes sex seem like a chore. It doesn't, like, because if I want you, I want you, whether I'm tired or not. And you know what I'm saying? So like, where's that balance? And that's why I think men are like, you know, like that's how they end up stepping out, because we view it as a chore. Like, oh, I'm too tired because I've been running the ballet, basketball, baseball all day. But where's the attraction? Like, oh, I want that.
Yeah,
I want you to relieve, like, splash waterfalls. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's that balance? Letting him know that he's wanted, that you want him sexually.
Again, I believe that it comes back to the fulfillment that you're getting from your partner, right? Like, to me, it ain't a chore. If I have a partner, I've always been that type of person though in a relationship. If I have a partner, you know, we have needs that need to be met, and you know, I'm okay with meeting those when you need them, but just you better meet them when I need them as well.
Bam.
I gotta tell you though, it's not to say, so there are other things you can do to show your partner that you're attracted to them without them poking it. I mean,
absolutely.
Kissing them at random. You can go and grab his
eggplant.
You know, I'm trying to keep PG, but you can just do anything. You could, you know what I mean? So it doesn't always necessarily have to be sex in order to prove to your partner that you find them attractive. You can even compliment them, you know, that he walking by and you be like, damn boy, I could just gobble you up, or you know what I mean? You can do anything.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be, you know, straight Come on, put your dick in my mouth.
Say that again. Peaches. You
Come on, put your dick in my mouth. Like, no, it don't have to always be that, but
Yes.
Intimacy is more than just sex, so you are correct.
Yes.
Say it again.
Two different
Say it
things.
again.
so just because I'm busy, that doesn't mean I won't show affection.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It just may mean that, dang, you know, and like I said, sex can become a chore if it's always the same way, if it's always only on his terms, if it's always, you know what I mean? So it can become a chore if it's not done with excitement.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Some type of spontaneity.
Yeah. Like
You gotta spice it up.
always. Little
And-
razzle.
For real.
Razzle dazzle.
Yes. And for the men, if your lady has an attitude, that means she needs a little affection and take her to Pound
Grab
Town.
my throat real quick and say, "What you mad for?"
That
My
part.
boys there. Like
Pull me closer to you by my throat. Like,
Put
You
yourself
like that?
against the wall, kiss on the lip real quick with your hand around her throat and say, "What you mad?"
yeah.
yeah.
I forgot.
Attitude adjusted.
Right.
I forgot.
Yeah, that is so
That part.
funny. Oh God! All right, Ashley said she needed some dating advice. What's the scenario, girlfriend?
So it's been brought to my attention that someone, came to me. So I want advice from y'all. So I have a friend of mine who has been dating somebody, or not dating. Yeah, I don't know if you would call it dating. Anyways, maybe a situationship, you want to call that. Yeah, situationship, right? So, and I was talking to her about, I said, did you play all your cards first? Because this is a question I'm going to talk about later, is playing all your cards at first. Because us women, we are guilty for playing all of our cards first. So she says that she's been seeing this person for a little while, but she is too afraid to make that initiative because they don't want to lose this person to say, what do you want? What do you want next? Go ahead, Peaches.
I think her first mistake was not asking that in the beginning before she started.
Yes.
So I'm going to pedal back because that's what I said. And I said, well, did you guys talk about this? Like, are you just wanting to go casual, see where it goes? How did you approach? Because if you approached it like that, sometimes it does bloom into something, right?
Yeah.
It does bloom in, but now you're sitting in the standstill of, I'm like,
what are we? And I know nobody likes to ask that question. What are we? I would say this: if she's already confused as to where her stance is with this person, maybe she need to pull back a little bit.
Does she need to make him expendable?
I freaking hate that word. Hate that word. I'm waiting for that to come up in the comments from you know who.
I mean, the reason why I say that is because I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big believer in being an open book when I go into any situation myself. So there's no such thing as showing all your cards at one time for me, because I'm gonna give you 100% and I expect you to give me 100% of yourself. Now, there are some wiggle room. I mean, there is some wiggle room when you're not used to a certain type of situation, but if I have to question where I stand with you, I'm gonna stand away from you. Like I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna wander the hell off because I'm not wondering where I stand with nobody.
Right.
And with that regard, like I would just suggest her. I mean, she's just gonna have to be like forward with it and just ask. What are you looking for with our connection? Like,
right. And that's what I said. I said you can't assume what's going on. And I know for us ladies, it's hard for us to, be the bigger person, be the man, right? And approach it. But it's like, if you showed him that you care, like, have you really opened up? Like, and I said, that's something you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, did you really open up to this person? Are you being vulnerable with this person? Because if you're not, if you're guarded, then of course, then they're not gonna pick you, because they do say a man knows what they want within the first 3 to 6 months. Hell, within a year, they know if you're going to be the one that they want to pursue a relationship with.
Right.
And I mean, I'm a firm believer of like not jumping into something. I think it's good to build that friendship boundary first, that foundation, because that's so important, and then move on and then talk about it.
Right.
So, friend, if you're listening, thanks for my advice.
So I want to say I can relate to Peaches because I'm the type of person that if I meet somebody that I'm interested in, that I want to pursue something with, I give my all. And that's why I don't date multiple people at a time, because it is so hard for me to try to spread myself amongst other people. If I'm dating somebody, you're getting all of me because I want all of you.
Mhm.
But Donna and Ashley and Peaches, I am the type of woman, I will tell you right up front, these are my intentions. This is what I want for myself. If you're not on that page, if you don't want this in your future, then this isn't right for us. Because I do want to be a wife again, and I do want to do this, and I do want to do this. But Peaches, I relate to you in that fact. Like sometimes I question myself, should I be showing them all of me right up front? But then like that's all I know, because this is the person that you're gonna get 24/7. There's no faking it.
I'm gonna tell
Right.
you the reason why I say this, because at the end of the day, if you've given you 100% to something and it doesn't work out, you can walk away
No,
not feeling bad about the situation. And so that's how I always pride myself in the whole dating process. That's why I tell men all the time, I'm not on the market. But if somebody catches my eye, I'm going to make sure that person knows it and proceed with that person as if this could potentially be something long term.
Mhm.
So I'm going to show you love, affection, even if I'm not in love with you, right off the bat. I'm just going to show you those things so you'll see, hey, this is what, and typically it's the surface, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Because once a woman is loved back properly, that energy is reciprocated,
Mhm.
it goes to a different level.
absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'll be able to go walk away knowing I gave it my all. It didn't work out, and that's okay.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that, part of it is the stage that we're at right now. Like, we're not wasting no time with nobody, because honestly, at 21, 22, 23, would we have been so upfront, about these things? But now that we know more about what we want, and, those things, like, and we're more comfortable with ourselves as women and in our femininity, we do express that upfront, right? So I think, it is easier said than done for
Right.
some people to just go ahead and express that and say that, right? But being who you are, because then that's when they like, you switched up and you used to do this and you used to do that. Like, no, I've been who I am from the beginning. It gets better, it gets greater with time.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I don't know. Ashley, this kind of leads into that second question. You want to go for it, or?
The playing all the cards.
Mhm.
Okay, so if a man, and I'm going to do for the men as well if they're in here watching, but for the ladies, if a man comes to you and plays all their cards, right, picks you up for a date, opens the car door, pays for dates, is constantly communicating with you, just over the top, a great man, and you haven't had this A in a while, or B never, how
Mhm.
do you look at that? Do you feel like, when is the red flag going to drop? What is wrong with you?
I'm laughing at Peach's face. Do y'all see?
No, do all the good stuff, baby. Do all of it, because here's the thing: if it's in you, you're gonna keep doing it. Because at the end of the day, I can't be worried about if this person is faking just to get certain that. Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, us women, let's be honest, when we connect with a man, we already know that we're gonna give him something anyway. It's a matter of when.
Right.
I mean, let's just be real about it, okay? And so what men don't understand is you don't have to do all the extra stuff if that's not who you are, because we already know whether or not we're going to give it to you anyway, regardless of what you show us. However, just like with men, we know if we're going to take you seriously or not, depending on how you interact with us.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a man is opening doors and he's treating me like I'm dainty, like I should be, if he's protecting me, if he's kind to me, making sure I'm good, baby, you might. you might get more than one hole. I'm just saying.
That's something coming from you.
More than one hole.
Okay, well, not that part.
I got you.
Come on.
Not that one.
Where did you?
Not
She
that
said,
one.
not the back door. That
Look,
is
look,
true.
she
That
was-
is a do not answer.
You know, Donna been trying to convince me to
Give it a try.
do butt plugs and all. I no.
Just give it a try.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I've tried it, didn't like it.
Okay, well, at least you can say you tried it, right? That's all you can do.
How did you get it right?
She does this every time. Talk about, I don't think you did it right. I think you need to do this.
That's hilarious.
I'm good.
Oh my goodness. That is
Size
funny.
matters
Yeah.
in that area. In that area, size matters.
Absolutely.
Yep, size and position. It matters.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, what do you have to say, Jay?
Oh man. So if that happens on the first date, my thoughts are I wonder if this is going to be a consistent thing. I wonder if this is a consistent type of person. You know, are you doing all this because you think you're going to get some tonight? Or are you doing this because this is truly you and I'm going to be consistent with it? So I wouldn't say that it's so much of a red flag because, again, like me and Peaches, we give our all too, right? So if a man is giving everything up front and that's who he truly is, then that's a good thing. But if it's, you know, just to lure you in and waste your time and there's no consistency there, then that's red flags come in. So
I want to share this comment because I think we can all relate if it wants to pop up. Okay, so she said, when we've been hurt so much and we don't see the good right away because it's too good to be true mentality, we think of the worst right away.
I had to get out of that mentality. Like I used to think that I wasn't worthy of love. I used to think that I wasn't worthy of the type of love that I give and the type of care that I give. But like a long time ago, my best friend told me, she was like, Ash, if you are you and you know how you love, you know how you care, why don't you think that there is someone else out there like you? And I was like, you know what? You got. And so now I always go into situations where I'm an open book and you either take it or you leave it. If you don't gravitate to it, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm a big girl, you know, but somebody will buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody will take that in. Somebody will consume that. So I don't try to worry about other people. I just try to make sure I maintain myself. Like make sure that I'm me.
Yeah.
Throughout even when it comes to friendships, like I make sure I'm me.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, one of my uncanny abilities is to I can departmentalize, right? So I can't take what somebody else did into my new relationship and take it out on this other person. Like it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, to Hannah's point, we think the worst right away or people think the worst right away because they're like, he's not your ex. He's not that dude 2 times ago. So you have to give him that clean slate. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not fair to them when we come with these, you know, different ideas about, you know, things that happen in our past. And that's hard. I recognize that's hard, but that's something that I'm easily able to do. And it's something that you have to be conscious about. Leon, do women really want a man to give everything up front and show his cards? Or do women just like the idea of having a good man show them?
To show them that we still do exist.
Let's go ahead and get into this because let me tell you something. This whole idea thing, I think I'm gonna flip that in a minute. But I will say this. Women just want you to be your authentic self. Like, I think the problem comes in where men think that they're a good man and think that, hey, I'm going to be a certain way with this woman to get what I need or what I want out of her instead of just coming to the table with you. And it's mostly stemming from you don't want this woman to reject you.
Yeah.
So it's not whether or not women want a good man. Of course we want good men.
Mm-hmm.
It's the point of you actually being yourself and allowing us to choose you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I would say, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Now, I would say this too. Men like the idea of a good woman, but don't actually know how to keep them.
There you go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
mic drop.
Mic drop. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think so. I think that some men don't know how to recognize a good woman because a lot, like women, they bring their past relationships, to the table. Let me say this really quickly before we get to Jay Hendo responding to that. So I think that sometimes the things that some men do, it comes off, and this is a big thing with me right now, it comes off as disingenuous and artificial because while you're doing these kind gestures, you know what I mean? Like as time goes on, you should really pay attention to who I am as a woman, my likes and dislikes. But if you're doing the same routine and thing with all the women that you've dated, that's the disingenuous part. That's what highlights for me. You know what I'm saying? Like a gentleman is going to be a gentleman, is going to be a gentleman regardless. But if you just have stuff that you do to show ladies, that's the part that I can't get with. Like that's you're fraud. I don't like it.
I feel that some men, because I'm gonna go down to these comments here in a minute. I feel that some men are scared when they actually run into a real, authentic woman.
Facts.
Absolutely.
I think it's because sometimes some people get used to the toxicity, so it gets comfortable. So anything healthy coming in, it's like, oh my God, wait a minute. Just like what you said earlier, Ash, waiting on the next shoe to drop. Like it's like I always like, oh, I gotta find something wrong with her because this can't be. I've been asking for this, but this can't be what I asked for. You know what I mean? So it's
right. So with Leon's comment, Mike picked up the expectation goes both ways. You're absolutely right. So let's just say you're dating a woman. She knows that you're working long hours and she says, hey, come over to my house. I will cook you dinner. You've been working so hard. And there's more to that, right? But she's catering to you to make sure you're good. Right. So you have a good, faithful woman who communicates with you. You communicate back with her. She's feeding you after a long, hard day because you are the leader. Right. We're assuming you're the leader. It is going to be reciprocated. Whatever you pour into women should take it and take that as their cup being filled up and re-pour that into the man as well. You have to reciprocate that because you can't just keep it to yourself. And that's the thing is men say they want a real woman. They have one right in front of them. I mean, look at the single ladies here on your screen. Okay. And then I'm just saying, and you have real women in front of you, but yet you want to go to the ratchet ass women who, get loud with you, get aggressive with you, so on and so forth.
Because those women let them do what they want to do. Just saying.
Say it again?
I said it's easier to run to the women that are going to let them do what they want to do and be toxic and do this one and that one and the other one. So
I gotta add something to that. So this goes for both sides, men and women. Just because you're a good person, though, doesn't qualify you for that person.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I say that is because being good should be a human trait that everybody should have. That's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Is the bare minimum. That's why it's so funny because when I've had guys to tell me, oh, you doing too much, I'm like, because I'm being a decent human being to you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, baby, something's wrong here. Yeah. You like women to treat you like trash?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and walk away from this situation because I'm not about to sit up here and degrade you and treat you like crap and be selfish and not, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, nobody deserves that.
Yeah. So, I'm going to give this as like a minor low on the totem pole example. And Hendo is like, what is a real authentic woman? So let's say we on the phone and like, he packing or something. He like, damn, I need some socks or whatever. So next time I'm in Target, I'm going to pick you up some socks. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's just who I am. There's no ulterior motive to it. I'm not expecting nothing. That's just genuinely who I am. And so those small things add up to big things. You know what I mean? I think Jay, you said it on when you were in Hendo had your first show. Like, I'm gonna have your snacks in here. I'm gonna have this in here. Like, I don't eat ice cream, and I got ice cream in my freezer right now. Like, I eat ice cream, but not like that. But I got ice cream in my freezer right now, just for, you know what I'm saying?
When you crave it.
You know what I'm saying? But so taking attention, paying attention to those little things, that's a real authentic woman. Like the fact that I'm in Target and I was like, damn, he did say he needed some socks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick
The
the socks
small
up.
things that you pay attention to, like those matter so much more than the big, fake, extravagant things. Like I'd rather somebody pay attention to what I'm telling them about my likes and wants and needs, and surprise me with something small. It's the littlest things that matter.
We need to ask the men that. Like, do y'all appreciate the small things, or do you want a woman to because it's just, I don't know. Like I've had situations where I would notice certain things. Like there was a guy that I was dating, and he was like puzzled as to what to do for his daughter. He was just like, I don't know, the pandemic is here, and I don't know what to do. And so I was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll get my mom to make a cake, and I got her a gift. Just take some board games there and play board games with her, because you can't necessarily take her anywhere. So do something to have, fun with your daughter. And the guy, before that all that happened, basically we ended up not working out, but I still ended up making sure that he had all the stuff for his daughter's birthday. But before that all that happened, he told me, oh, you don't care about nobody but yourself. You're just like the woman I dated before you. That's your own trauma, baby. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But it was funny because once he realized later on, like, damn, she did, make sure not only was I good, because I even like used to do little cute stuff, like I'll spray a little teddy bear and say, okay, well, since we can't be together, here's a teddy bear that smells like me. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that. And because he was so focused on what he wanted me to do that he wasn't even focused on everything else. And what he wanted me to do was tell him I loved him and I missed him, even though I didn't feel none of that.
Look, they're saying the small things are everything. We got men and women saying, oh, Jesus, here goes Leon Brandon with a damn paragraph. My God.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on. We ain't done.
Go ahead, Jay.
So going back to what Hannah said and what you just talked about, I feel that that's a lot of the issue with dating these days is people don't heal themselves from their past traumas. And so you get put in a position to where they treat you as if you're their past traumas. I have found out by doing my own mental healing, like, I had shitty relationships after my divorce, but going into something new with the next person, I don't ever judge or perceive that that's how they're going to be. But
Right.
take the time to heal yourself from your last trauma before you try to go forward with somebody else. Because when you do have a good woman in front of you and something happens, or yeah, exactly. And you expect, I think a lot of the time too, you're sitting and waiting for something to happen that happened to you in the past with this relationship, and that can ruin it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to go in with a clean slate and a clean mind frame. And I think it's
People are ready to do the work to clean that slate for themselves before they go into something new. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I have learned over the years is you can't expect what you give in return.
Right.
I'm a giver. I'm a lover. I will give you whatever it is that you need. I'm there to serve. I don't ask for anything in return. I'm not oh my gosh, I need this. I don't broadcast my shit on social media like that. When other people do. And it's just like, I'm here to help in any way possible, man or woman. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to get you out of that funk. Where it hurts us is when we're giving too much to different people, our cup becomes bone dry. And it ends up fucking us over. Because we may react out of emotion to certain people or certain things, and it makes us look like the ass. At that point, that's when we have to sit back and reflect. As long as you have a good person in your life to ground you back down and say, hey, you're acting out of emotion, and you have to check yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, we do act out of emotion, because society today shows that women should have X, Y, and Z, right? for your birthday, for holidays, you should. I don't expect anything for birthdays. I don't expect anything for holidays. Look, it's like the guy said, and even Hannah said, it's the little things that count. Even if you got a card and says, I was thinking of you, I love that, because you know what? If you took the time to go to the store to pick out the perfect card, to write a little message in there, mail it, or even give it to me. I don't
agree with
need
that.
a Michael Kors bag. I don't need a Coach bag. I can get those myself if needed, right? It's the little things. Come in with flowers. I mean, I literally went to the store the last week and I was like, you know what? I need to do something nice for myself because I've been stressed. I bought myself flowers. You have to pamper yourself. You have to tell yourself that you are worthy, men and women.
Yeah.
Right. Take care of
Absolutely.
yourself.
Self-love is very important.
I'm
So
gonna add to
important.
that too, Ash. Though I'm gonna say that I don't expect people to do exactly what I would do, but I do expect the amount of care from people. If I don't get that, and then I just remove myself. I'm not gonna sit up here and force you to do something that's not within your comfort zone, but I'm not gonna also stay in something where I'm not being poured back into. Like, I'm not going to stay in a situation where, because people always say, oh, well, you shouldn't expect yourself from, and that's right. You shouldn't expect yourself from other people. However, you do know how you should be treated as a human being too. So I'm not going to sit there and allow somebody to not treat me well simply because they're not me.
Right. And that goes back to your comment, like, people, you can have two good people, but they're not the good people for each other, right? Because he could be doing what is within his capacity and his ability, but that may not be what you need or what you want, right? It goes back to music song. Teach me how to love. Show me the way to surrender your heart. Girl, I'm so lost.
Go ahead, Donna. Just sing it. We
I
don't got
just want
to
to sing it though. You know,
Just sing
sing
it.
everything in me not to sing. Teach me how to love. How can I get my emotions involved? But no, honestly, like, you have to, like, as you progress with that person and get to know that person and become closer with that person, you're going to teach them. They're going to learn you, and that's going to show them how you need to be loved, how you need to be appreciated, how you need your cup filled, and things like that. Like, Ashley's like, I'm not expecting you to do all of these things for me, but there's something. Ashley, so let me ask you this: what is it that you want if you're the giver and you do all this, how can he fill your cup? Are you able to articulate that to whoever this guy is, to say, this is how you fill my cup so that I don't feel burnt out, I don't feel unappreciated, I don't, you know what I mean? What is that thing for you?
That's a good question. I mean, it could just be like the little things, Right. Again, it could be a card. And I think this goes back to, you have to find out what your love language is. My love language is words of affirmation.
Okay.
Show me that you appreciate it. Show me, send me a text. Hey, I appreciate you for doing X, Y, and Z. Pick up the phone. Hey, I appreciate you and if you're being detailed, then I know you truly paid attention to what I did for you. Right?
All right. Words of affirmation. That's how you show her. But what if his love language is like acts of service?
But that's the reason why he should be making sure he pay attention to her.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's why it's important to ask those questions, because, okay, so even for me, without giving away too much, so in my dating experience, with asking people what their love language is, I pay attention to that. And so like my love language is acts of service and quality time. They're neck and neck, right? And the person I talk to, there's this physical touch and quality time. So I'm okay with being touchy-feely, okay? And I know that if that's how that person receives love or care, then of course I don't have any problem with showing that person that, hey, I care about you. I'm here, it's just a matter of paying attention to that person. And if you genuinely care, you're going to do that. A lot of times we make the mistake of caring for people in our own love language. And we may think, oh, well, this person should appreciate me because I'm doing X, Y, Z. And it's like, well, that may not be how they receive care. Like for me, I like random, you know what? I thought about, say I'm running late. Okay, running late for work. And I forgot to grab coffee. I've had a person say, oh dang, you forgot your coffee. You know what? I'm coming in your area. I'm gonna drop off some coffee to you. That to me is an act of service because it's like you saw the need and you did it without me asking. Like if I feel like I gotta ask you for something, then I'm already uncomfortable with the situation because I actually dated somebody where I literally was like, okay, I'm coming all the way to you. I'm driving all the way to you. I ain't never had a man where I had to drive all the way to him and him not either pay for my gas or try to meet me halfway or try to come my way sometimes. So it was very new to me and I would get frustrated, but I'm like, I get frustrated when I could just remove myself from that situation because that person obviously is doing it, like Donna was saying, to the capacity that they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. My boy Steve. Hey, Steve. Some people don't realize that they still have work to do before going in the dating scene. And that is so true. I think the more people that you interact with, and like even like if you don't, it doesn't end up in a relationship, you discover more and more about yourself, right? Because some people are gonna bring out just different things in you, and that is so true. So true. You got to do the work before you hop back into that dating scene, which leads us kind of to our next question. And me and Ashley, I think we're talking about this. So when you all meet somebody, okay, do they start, and I'm going to take the education route here for this example, do they start with an A from you or do they have to earn an A?
They have to earn, like, I feel like they have to earn an A because you're talking to them, right? Communication is good, but I feel like they have to earn it because you could slowly get a lower grade, right? By lack of communication or, assuming that, you're paying for dinner, you're going to get some Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the communication, the mind, and the mindset for me. You have to prove yourself. And it's almost like a job interview, right? You're going to ask them all these questions and watch how they respond, body language and everything, along with how, and if they're smart enough, they're going to pay attention to how you react to their questions as well.
I don't know. Jay, what do you think? Are you starting off, giving people that A and they got to work to keep it, or do they have to work up to that A?
I know a lot of the times I'm the one who's going to start off with an A because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt until they show me otherwise. So I'm going to say I start off with an A. And then if you start showing me things or you don't keep your word, because I'm huge on do what you're going to say and say what you're going to do. So if you don't keep your word and you can't fulfill everything that you've spoke on and boosted yourself up to be, then that's slowly going to deplete down to a smaller grade.
Interesting.
He said that sigh.
You had a big sigh there.
It was a big sigh. Oh,
yeah, I would agree.
Why they got to earn an A? You got to clean. Why do you got to earn an A? If you got a clean slate, why would it be an A off the top?
That's why I say that, because if you go into something with that clean slate, they should already have that slate's clean. That A should be there. Let them start messing up and showing you themselves.
You ain't got no grades, so that's my excuse.
I agree with Jay in a sense, because this is the same way how I tip at restaurants. Everybody start off with 20, and it goes lower or it increases after that.
Exactly.
So A+. I'm just saying, you could earn extra credit. You can end up being above average.
Yep.
Because A to me is average. Everything else above that is kind of like dependent on you. So
that's too funny. So I had this conversation with somebody, and I told them everybody's starting with a 0. It is. So I said, okay.
You earn points from that.
You get a 50. So you ain't at a 0, you're at 50, and then you gotta get up to that 100. But I don't know. That's an interesting concept. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that for me personally, I would always start people off at that 0. You got to work to it because I'm one to have my guard up. Like, I'm like, oop, my guard is up. Like, you know what I mean? But the concept is pretty interesting. Maybe I need to give people the benefit of the doubt.
I got
These passing. You're right, Don.
I'm gonna ask you this, Donna. If you have your guard up, how are you gonna let somebody in that might be good?
Jesus, passing.
Oh my goodness. So Peaches, this is the crazy. Go ahead, Ashley.
Because I mean, I gotta add this. At the end of the day, dating itself is a risk. No
Mhm.
matter what you do, it's going to be a risk. Even if this person say you never dated somebody a day in your life, you were never hurt, so you going into this completely green. It's still a risk. So my thing is this: you have to also know that okay, the person coming in could potentially be risking on you too.
Mhm.
And so I say, this is just me. Don't let your walls be too far up where nobody can climb over.
Yes.
So
Don't
Peaches.
block your blessings, Donna.
No, okay. So we actually kind of talked about this on another show. Peaches, me and you go fight virtually. No, okay, but this is true. And what y'all are saying is 100% right. I'm like totally aware of this, right? And it's crazy that I'm aware of it. So with little towel boy, that's when I decided I'm gonna let my guard down. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like number one, he was the wrong one to let my guard down with. But Jay, I'll tell you the story later. But
Okay.
in that instance, that's something I had to learn. So that's number one. And number two is we talked about on the show before, like, I don't think I was really in a position until maybe like the last year and a half. Like, I'm really open to dating now. Like everybody else, I was like, I just wasn't
gonna last.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I was just like, but now I'm like really open at this point, you know, had to accept some things and move on from some things. But yeah, it's super interesting, which leads me to Towel Boy. Yes, I'll tell that story on another.
Little towel boy.
Towel, yes, towel. Which leads me to, so I went on a date with this guy, right? I mentioned this date on, I think, Wine Therapy, right? So when we went our separate ways, and I want y'all to tell me, especially guys in the chat, if I was harsh when I said this, okay? So I get home and he's like, do you want some company? Like we had been texting, you know what I'm saying? He's like, do you want some company? And I told him, because I told y'all I wasn't feeling him. I told him your texts are company enough. Was that
I mean,
was that
be
hard?
honest.
I mean, it wasn't harsh. You were, I
You're
mean,
being real.
maybe a little bit.
Jay is like,
I don't think it was harsh because here's the thing: I ain't about to be setting myself up for no booty call.
That too.
I hate when a man says,
Interesting.
"Oh, you want some company? Really, you want to tap my ass? Stop playing
Right.
with me."
oh,
Right.
guys are telling me I was harsh.
But
Oh,
see, Donna, you better than me because I'm gonna tell you what I would have said. Today, sir, I do not want your dangling.
oh my goodness.
No, thank you.
Jay, look, Jay was like,
Wait, so Jay, are you saying like peace to Donna, or like did Donna handle that well? Like I'm asking for a friend at this point. We need to know. Like, are you on Donna's side, or because and then if a woman said, "Hey, do you want some company?" Are you guys going to sit there and say, "Hey, come on over," or are you going
To
to
be
say,
fair, she didn't really like him, so I'm
So
pretty
then
sure.
why not
for
just
me,
tell her that? Just
for
tell her.
me, if it would have been somebody I like, I would be like, yeah, I would.
I would have been like singing like Aaliyah, baby, come over.
I'm telling you.
He did. That's what I feel like he set himself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like when we left, I think he wanted a kiss. And I was like,
"Dodge"?
you know what I'm saying? Like, so why if I want to kiss you? Why are you asking me if I want some company? You know I want your company. You know I don't.
Yeah.
So when he asked you for a kiss, what was your response?
Okay, so this
You set that boundary though. You said you don't kiss on the first date.
exactly. So that's the other part. Like he knew that I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So because when he said it, he was like, well, I know you don't kiss something. And he just opened my door and I got in the car. I was like, yep.
I mean,
Oh man, no, but seriously, like he was one of those guys that like the desperate, like I couldn't tell if he was genuine, like the desperation of, you know, he wants to have these kids and he wants to shoot my club up. And, you know, he said he never had sex intentionally to get pregnant. If he did, he would cry. Like he said, he's like, I would cry. Like if I had sex to, knowing that a baby coming on the other side of it, I think I would cry. And I just like, I never finished my margarita so fast. Like,
He said, "Let me shoot the club up."
and I'm like, you're not shooting this club up. Like, no.
Yeah.
The club is closed.
The club is closed to you. Like this is VIP only, and you ain't got the wristband, sir.
So wait, so I want to know for the fellas that are here listening. I don't know why there it goes. Fellas, if you guys go your separate ways, you don't kiss or anything, and she texts you, "Hey, do you want some company?" How would you respond to that?
Ooh.
Ashley, come on.
Well, I don't know.
No, there's some good look. There's some real men who
There
are.
are.
I'm sorry,
just playing.
isn't feeling it. There's some men that are like, man, I gotta get this release out. Yes, come on over.
Yeah, I think like that would probably dictate how the rest of that relationship goes. If he says, "Come on over," because he got to get that release out, like then you're just like a release for him.
Another one off the list.
Right. So wait. So then that's another question I have is, if you give up the coochie quickly, fellas, I want to know if you go on 1 or 2 dates and they give up the coochie, how does that look? Does she look like she's easy? Is that something you're gonna pursue, or is that simply just gonna be a booty call? Let me know.
Like this. Look at me however you want to, sir. I wanted your dangling. So if I wanted your dangling and you gave it to me, thank you.
He said,
I will hope you will look at me as a lady still. But
I don't know. To Leon's point, like, and if I was feeling him or any other guy, I would have been like, let's go somewhere else. Or you know what I'm saying? Like I definitely would have extended the night. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't go up there margarita to get out of there. You cannot let them come for company without getting to that.
You can let them.
You can let them.
Yeah,
And you can, but you again, that's a boundary. Or you can't let them come over without getting it. Sorry, I read that backwards.
I ain't gonna lie. See, this is the other thing too, fellas. Sometimes
I like Steve's response.
when you are a gentleman and you don't be trying to get on from the girl and you actually invested into getting to know her, sometimes that make her want you more though. I ain't gonna lie, cause
That desire to want that more, yes.
Sometimes you want them to be bad because you be like, you really invest, you really like me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Leon is like with all
He's
this
on it today. He's on with the shit. Let's be real. You can't. We are adults. Wait. Let's be real. You can't. We are all adults that holding a women are hoes, men are hoes. That shit is overrated. You're right. You can't really deny. You can't deny chemistry. That's it.
Right.
Period. But there are men, and I don't want to sit there and put them in that bucket of players, but it is what it is. Like they're out here testing all the coochie, right? And they find who can I call at 1 o'clock in the morning, baby. I'm thinking about you. Can I come on? I'll be like, my phone is on D&D.
I'm telling you.
She says some of those quick ones
become forever mates. Possibility. Like Leon said, that chemistry is a lot.
Yes. Chemistry is everything. The vibe is, here's the thing. If you can't sit down and just shoot the shit with your partner or the person you're dating, whether it's sports, whether it's, the new stand-up comedy special, whatever it is, or what's going on in the world today, if you can't have a serious conversation or just shoot the shit and literally, laugh your ass off, then they're not the one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can make me laugh, baby, you got me in.
Yeah.
Make me laugh.
Yeah.
But if I have to do the fake laugh, haha.
That means I'm out.
I mean, and I wouldn't even say that. I just want the man to be able to have a good sense of humor in the same, like, because I know I'm silly. I know that I could be a jokester and things like that. So if the man don't laugh at my jokes or blush, we got a problem.
Who is this?
I don't know who this is. I'm about to go in the comments on my phone. The biggest turn on as a real ass woman with a dope personality. Are you saying like a real ass woman or like a real woman with an ass? Like a real ass. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's like a legit woman with a dope ass personality.
I know. It depends on the connection though. If I'm feeling the vibe, I would at least go to why not?
To see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that too. I mean, like Donna right though about that.
Oh,
Like,
it's Mac. Okay.
if you wanted company, then
Return of Mac.
you would just extend the date.
Yeah.
Yep.
You on mute, Donna?
Dang it! I was dropping some gems.
Oh, what's
Dang it.
Drop them again.
No, I was just saying I didn't extend the date. I have not contacted him since then. And so that's the end of that. So stay tuned for the next dating story during our next girls' night.
Yeah.
Oh, but they made me feel bad in the comments telling me it was harsh. But I mean,
I don't think it was harsh. I think you were being honest. I mean, because let's be real, like Jay and Steven said, you shouldn't have to ask anyway. If the woman didn't invite you over, just know, it's not necessarily you being rejected. It's just that maybe she has a certain standard about herself. Maybe she feels like she's not feeling you. Either way, don't invite yourself. I will never go somewhere I'm not invited. I'm sorry.
period.
I'm just not. You gonna have to ask me to come to your house.
Right. I don't care if you advertise that on all social media. I'm having a cookout at my house. If you didn't invite me, I'm not going.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that goes for like women late night when it comes to men. Like, even though you may have a man's address, maybe you've been over his house before, I would never just pop up at somebody's house unless they invited me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't have to tell me, hey, I want to see you today. Can you come over? Okay.
Right. Don't just pull up. Like if we planned it like during the week, remind me that you're on your way. Because I mean, I could be laying around the house in a tank top and some shorts. I mean, not that you mind, but I would rather have myself, all done up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Do we want to hit one more question before we say goodbye to everybody?
Let's do it.
All right. Peaches, I'm going to let you pick the question. You have 3 questions left. So I'm going to let you pick which one.
Okay. So let's go with. Okay. What are the basic qualifications for someone to date you?
Jay, you go
They
first.
No. I don't want the hot seat right now. Y'all go ahead.
No. What do they have to have in order to date you?
Okay, what are we talking about? Everything, or are we talking about a personality?
Everything. If you want to break your, like, if you got like buckets of like physical and all that, go ahead. Say what you want.
So I want to know that I want to know that your mental health is okay. Like I said earlier, I've done a lot of work on myself to get my mental health where I want it to be peaceful and happy. So I want to know that your mental health is okay. I'm going to fill you out and talk to you about some things and that aspect, because I want to see where your brain is at. Obviously, a grown man should have a job and is self-established, as we should all require. But, but my biggest thing is I want to know your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Like, physical aspect of things. I say this all the time on my TikTok live. Beauty and a man being fine and all that. There's way more to that than just the outer shell. So I want to know everything about your inside. Like, where's your heart at? Where's your mind?
Stop.
What did I say? The 6'5".
That's Ashley.
Ashley, is that your requirement? You got to be 6'5"?
What?
You don't have to be 6'5", but you got to be taller than me. I am 5'5.5". Like, I want to be able to look up to you.
Okay, so what if you're 5'9"?
5'9", it's okay.
I'm the same way, Ashley. I've never dated anybody short. I don't want to look down at my man. I at least want to make eye contact with you or look up at you. Like,
Right.
I agree. One of my requirements is he's got to be chocolate. I only like chocolate,
DDH.
I don't mind if it's different shades of chocolate, but I like chocolate. So, but no, my biggest thing that I want to look at is your mental health. That's what we're going to talk about. I want to know where your mind is at. I want to know what your intentions are. Of course, I want somebody who's got an outstanding personality, because I like to talk shit, joke around, and have a good time. So, you got to be able to handle my personality and learn my personality. So,
Yeah.
And alone. No, I'm just playing.
That big? That was playing.
I'm just playing.
Oh, that's important.
Go ahead, Ash. What you get?
So, like I said, I would prefer them to be tall, right? Only because I feel more secure. If you're short, I don't feel safe. I don't feel secure. My dad was 6'4". So my dad was, my teddy bear. So if I could have that, I would love that, and I have to agree with you. Mental health is so real. You have to make sure that they're not just putting on a facade while they're communicating with you via text. Anybody can put on a facade. It's when you meet them in person and you read that body language. So yes, it's important that your mental health is good, because I've been through some shit and I'm still working through it, but I've healed a lot. I still have some healing work to go through. And I think that's kind of what is putting me in some circumstances. And I'm going to be honest. It is what it is. I just have to heal from that. So mental health is huge. And then just be genuine. Just be you. I don't need you to pull up in a 3-piece suit, saying, hey, you don't have to be materialistic. You don't have to have a Mercedes. You don't have to have all that. Is it nice? Yes, it's nice. I'm going to rock with you, whether you have it or whether you don't. I'm going to rock with you. But we have to be able to communicate and have that connection. Like I said, I love sports, whether it's NFL, college, I'm all about it. I'm a huge UGA fan, so sorry for all you Bama fans out there. I like to talk my shit. And so it's like, if I can find that person to talk that shit with, that's even better. Because I'm going to sit there, I'm not talking. I think it's so important just to feel connected, feel heard, and just have fun. Like, if I can't have fun with you, then I'm not going to have fun in life.
Absolutely.
Period. He said it's too hot for a 3-piece suit.
I mean, look, Mac Daddy, and I mean, not Mac in here, but like the Mac Daddy's going to the church, with the 3-piece suits, with their cane.
Oh, that is funny. Peaches, what you got?
First of all, look, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that, Jay. As far as the looks, no, I'm just kidding. No, I will slightly disagree, because he got to be attractive to me. I can't put a not plastic or paper bag over your head. I can't do that. I like to be seen. I like us to look good together.
Yeah, I got you.
So first and foremost, I got to be attracted to you in order for us to for me to even be, you catch my eye. He has to be able to communicate with me, because I don't know how many times I've had men interested in me and be fine, but then WID.
Oh, I hate that all day long.
Or where you at? Where you think you going based on something I posted? Like, what? If you ain't trying to set nothing up, shut up.
Yeah.
I will say, like Ash said, I'll be just authentic, be yourself. I think it's cute when a guy is nervous to meet me. I mean, be you. Don't try to be macho all the time, because I'm the wrong one to be macho with. Because I'll turn into a dude too. I'm telling you that now. You be rough with me, I'm gonna be rough with you.
You go from half fully to hood real quick.
Look, I'm just saying. And and like I said, the height don't matter. So for those in the comments, I will say, just like the lady said, as long as if I put on heels, we can see eye to eye, or you taller than me, I'm cool with it. But like I said, I mean, that's to even get me on a date.
Yes.
Oh, he's ruffling some feathers with this one. Mac, why are you doing this?
What if they're attractive but got bad breath? You got to tell them about themselves. Just saying.
Well, I mean, that's when you get on the date. I mean, because you won't know that they got bad breath over the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I stopped dating a guy. Look, that breath was kicking out.
Bring the razzle, she'll bring the dazzle.
Hey, see, this is why me and Steve are here. That's my guy. That's my guy. Okay, but look, for the bad breath piece, it's like, okay, was it just one time that your breath was bad, or is your breath consistently bad? I think those are two different things, because you may need some colon cleansers and a good teeth cleaning, and we can talk about that. Like, I don't know. So it's like, was it a mishap where he had some like?
I went on 2 dates.
Okay.
Because the first time like I said, I've dated somebody where the guy was very interesting. We finally got on the date. I thought it was really cute. Like he even gave me, because we talked about prom or something, and then he brought me like this little corsage. I thought it was really cute. But maybe when I got close to him, right now,
It was that hot garbage that
I was like, ouch, that burnt me.
oh, goddamn
And I was like so glad that man never kissed me, because baby, I probably would have all in there. But I did wait. I waited until the second date to confirm, and that was just in him. Like that wasn't just no one
There
time.
wasn't no fix of that.
That was deep down in the throat and in the belly.
It's some colon cleansers. Like, take these. I have these, and and here's my dentist number.
And there's a new improved mouthwash that you can get too. And are you using mouthwash? Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, like some of that is internal.
I like a man to smell good. I want to be
Oh, absolutely.
face in your neck.
Yes, it's the best place to be. Like, definitely.
Man, if you wearing the right cologne, make me weak in my knees, maybe.
Yep.
Hey, that's better than a good smelling, good looking man.
Nothing better.
Donna, you didn't answer.
Okay, so one is, and just like where I am in my life right now and the journey that I'm on, I gotta know that you have a relationship with God. That's point blank.
Hey,
That's literally number one, because that's number one. And number two, I need him to be confident. So if you're the garbage man, you're gonna be the best damn garbage man out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, whatever it is and who you are, I need you to have that confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say that I won't be supportive and encouraging and motivate you, and like, but I need you to have some confidence, especially dealing with me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be in a situation where I can run over you. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to be vulnerable with me, but I need him to be like, that's definitely in my top 10 of top 5 of qualifications. You gotta be confident in who you are. Like, I don't want you still finding yourself. You can be on a journey to be better, but to not know who you are at this age right now.
Right.
I can't. Yeah, I can't do it.
I agree with you on God, but that's something that, I like to pray with my man. So we got to have that. That's a solid foundation right there. That's got to be implemented.
Yeah, definitely. And, like, it's to have fun. And another thing is, like, I want somebody who can teach me something. That is a turn on. Like,
yes.
I mean, you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like that. And a man that's good with his hands.
Ooh, yeah. Now, see, I won't know that until we get on the date. But I'm gonna tell you like this, baby. No, let me hush, because I'm gonna be quiet today. I'm gonna just say this.
Say it.
Hands.
Oh, you're so silly.
The hands say a lot.
Oh
The
my!
hands say a lot.
They say a lot. They say a lot. They do a
The
lot.
way they grab you. Okay, let me hush.
Okay, like. Stop it. Hey, y'all, guess what? Jay is gonna be back tomorrow night.
Hey,
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing Peak 22 tomorrow. Tomorrow's our first, we're going to be introducing Peak 22. We're going to be talking about dating in this effed up society, right? Because it's pretty harsh out there.
Yeah, and I think that people will be able to call in and chat with y'all, right?
Yes, ma'am. You can call in, ask questions, make comments. It's going to be a live, I think we're going to have a good conversation tomorrow. There's a few good topics that we're going to talk about. So
I'm excited for this. Let me say this. We have some faithful Girls Night followers, and I just want to say thank y'all so much for always supporting us. Y'all always, are a good time with us. You never judge us. You let us be who we are. So we love y'all and appreciate that, most definitely. And we'll be back next month, and I'm pretty sure we'll all have some interesting stories to tell. Yes.
I just want to say real quick, ladies, thank you for inviting me in. It was a great time.
Hey, you'll be back.
You'll be back.
Absolutely.
Leah says we always Be wildin'.
Yes, that's what we do. Violent, 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 violent. That's what's up. Hey, y'all, stay tuned. We got a full lineup of shows on deck for Life Grind. Monday is Love and Sarcasm, and then me and Jay Hendo will be back with wine therapy, and I think we may have a Shylanta coming up. So we got some good things going. Make sure you all like and subscribe to the YouTube page, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. And other than that, MJ has a show next week. But other than that, stay in grind, y'all. Peace out.
See y'all tomorrow.
Hey.